Hello and welcome to IMD's Industry Insights. Be sure to follow us on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Brian Self, and today we're with Jim Fields. He's the U.S. President of Techni WaterJet. Jim, thanks for being with us, and why don't you get us started by telling us a little bit about yourself and Techni WaterJet?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. First of all, I appreciate the time you take to spend with us. So, um, myself, I've been in WaterJet since 1993, so I've been around this industry for quite a bit. Techni WaterJet's been in the business as a high end abrasive waterjet manufacturer for uh, significant advantages for our customers in the waterjet fabrication market. So, born out of Australia in 1989, we've been we came into the U.S. in 2005 and been growing ever since. So, offer a high-end quality product with the most intelligence on the market. Some of the significant differentiators between us and what you see out there in the market: lowest cost of operation, but that's a measurable, factual kind of situation there. Easiest and quickest to do maintenance on. So the simplicity of the equipment to perform just normal maintenance is definitely an advantage with our equipment. And then, of course, unmatched intelligence throughout the system. This is significant. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but at the end of the day, that's a significant point and differentiator of us and kind of other fabricating technologies. And then one of the things that I think is that's like one of our calling cards, if you will, is the predictability of maintenance. So we know when something's going to happen before it's going to happen, and we can dig into that a little bit later.
Okay, wonderful. Well, before we get into all that, I know, as with a lot of companies, the emphasis for Techni WaterJet is customer service. Exactly how important is that customer service and support to the company and to you personally?
Well, I think like any of us, personally, professionally, or otherwise, customer service is paramount. It's paramount to certainly paramount to Techni, but even in our own lives, what is the most frustrating thing that we experience today is poor customer service or adequate customer service. So it's a significant part of our DNA that we want to be superior in customer service. So um, the again the things that we want to make sure to make it easy on our customers kind of as a user is the ease of operation, the ease of maintenance, and then then having, well, let me tell you, put it this way: customer service is paramount to the fact of keeping you up and running, right? So if you had a waterjet and all things were equal, they're going to cut a straight line at the same speed. What happens is the downtime and the non-profit time for the companies or customers is when they're not cutting, right? So what causes them to not be cutting? So general maintenance, they have to replace seals or whatever the case is. They have to load garnet. They have to set up another program. Making those things simple and allowing getting longer time in between maintenance cycles allows for more uptime, more profitability for the customer.
Sort of an add-on to that, how important do you think it is to be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to dealing with your customers?
Well, proactive is the best way to go, right? So let me come back to that. I mean, one of the other things that kind of defines it for us is accessibility. Customer service. You have to be able to get a hold of somebody. We have to take ownership in your problem. So we actively start gathering information, gathering the facts straight away. And we don't just, we don't wait for the callback, this and that. We engage, we assign it to somebody, then we get the problem resolved as fast as possible. So that's central to a good customer service element. But to speaking to the proactivity, our system is designed to be unmanned. So to be unmanned operation, meaning lights out, I can set it up, I can go do something else. And to do that, you basically have to monitor everything on the system. So again, proactive, we use the term predictive when it comes to the tools on the machine. So we have basically a predictive intelligence on the machine that monitors the heat, the torque, the amp draw, you know um, the stroke rate, all of these things that would lead to a scheduling of a maintenance, right? A scheduling of the next interval of maintenance is predictive or proactive, as the question said. But to do that, then what will happen is it alerts you that the need is there or the need is coming up, but it doesn't wait till the last minute. So at the 80% mark, let's say, it says you're going to need to perform maintenance on this right hand check valve, whatever the case is. So it will tell you the area that will need the maintenance. Our customers can then schedule it. They can schedule it that evening, the next day, whatever the case is. They don't have to shut down the job to go and do something that's urgent. In the industry, the status quo has always been reactive maintenance. So basically, wait till it breaks, and now I have to fix it, and that comes, inevitably, it's going to come in the middle of a job, right? And then the other one is to avoid that. You do preventive maintenance. So preventative maintenance is done too soon. It's done on the clock, right? We say, okay, X amount of hours, we can't allow it to break because that's going to cause some other damage. So you do it too soon. So predictive maintenance, proactive, and then of course us staying in touch with our clients on a regular basis. That's kind of how we approach it.
You sort of hit around the peripherals of your lights out capabilities. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your TechConnect app and that yes, you can run the machine with nobody standing in front of it.
Yeah, it's this is an outstanding product. So this is a very intuitive, handheld. Can go on your smart device. It's tuned into the machine, and it's monitoring everything from the machine parameters to the pump parameters to the power parameters. I mean, it's the program parameters, everything, and all the information that's important to all basically the key indicators of whether you're running at optimization is in the app, right? So it really gives us a kind of a, well, it doesn't give us, it gives us a great deal of confidence to be unmanned. Like, leave the thing, set it and forget it. So a lot of times we tell our customers to cut your thin stuff during the day because you're going to have more load and unload cycles with that, right? But the thicker stuff that takes longer to cut, run it at night. So set it up at the end of the day. It's going to detect. It does that through a series of proximity switches and parameter bandwidth within the software that once it goes outside of that bandwidth, it'll put it into a soft feed hold or whatever the case. It'll alarm your device, let you know that something's going on. So yeah, it's a very advanced tool. We kind of took, my truck tells me when the tires need air in it, but we've taken that and put it on steroids and now monitor everything from low pressure water, oil, oil flow rate, temperatures, and all that kind of stuff to really give you your machine at your hand, right? This is really good for operators, maintenance people, owners, operations managers. So it's a very powerful tool, and it's 2024. We should have these kinds of things. But it's kind of a significant difference that Techni has, and and people are loving it. It's being really well received.
Do you have anything set up in that app that if it's crucial enough or important enough that Technique gets notified immediately, or is that something that the maintenance people or somebody in the shop has to do?
It's either or. You can set it up with us or with your maintenance people, right? And then that can send the information or the messaging that the machine is stopped, machine's in a feed hold situations. But the beautiful thing is nobody needs to be notified for the machine to say, "Hey, something's out of whack. I'm going to shut myself down." What has historically been the up marching orders in WaterJet is people will wait till failure, and then it doesn't necessarily detect it right away, and then you get a big mess in your shop, and other damage can occur from that. This shuts it down because the machine knows if I don't have water, I'm going to shut down. If my oil's flowing, getting too hot, I'm going to shut down. If the program's finished, I'm going to shut down. There's all these things that it does on its own. Then to what degree do you want Techni involved? We can monitor it. We have service contracts where we can monitor that all the time and get that notice straight away. More typically, people will use it internally, and the operations manager or the manager will get notified of an issue, or even the operator. So it's powerful across the spectrum. The ultimate is having us do the monitoring as well.
Well, it's obvious that Techni is on the cutting edge of stuff. Not excuse the
Yeah, yeah.
pun. Um,
You
but
use it or I would have, so that's good.
um, so at Techni, what does innovation look like? I mean, obviously the TechConnect is part of that, but on the technical engineering side or on the organizational side.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been innovations at the core of what we do, right? So we hold the patent. We were the first to the market with an electric servo pump. The electric servo pump is far more efficient than hydraulic intensifiers and some of the other methods that are out there. It is just it was not, most people that looked at it would have said turn away, but we're kind of the problem solvers, and we looked at it and we said this is being used it was being used at NASA. That's where we got the idea, replacing hydraulic actuators and things like that. And so why don't we supersize that? And so the owners were innovators to begin with. So that's at the core of who we are. But some of the other things that we were first to market with, the abrasive transfer pump. In the industry, you've always had to load the media into a pressurized vessel, right? Well, that's messy when you have to depressurize it. You have to stop the machine. It interrupts production. So we went to the design team and we came up with a solution. So the abrasive transfer pump, now you can load our hopper during the cut. You can actually open it up. It's just a non-pressurized vessel. I can feed the garnet in and it continues to cut during that. So we were the first to market, and that's now the market has followed. I think you can get that on a lot of machines, but at the end of the day, we were alone in that space on that particular thing, that particular product for 5 years to 10 years. And so we've always been a leader to say, why not do it better, right? And again, go back to what I was saying about 50 horsepower to 50 horsepower cutting the same. The downtime is associated with all the connected periphery, right? So it's either the pump, the chiller, the hopper, and these things we've always been driven by efficiency. How can we do it better, cheaper, with more reliability?
Say you're in a shop and uh, the owner of the shop is like, well, I don't know if I want to, go into WaterJet. How do you differentiate Techni from other water jets and from other methods of cutting?
Yeah, so I'll start with different water jets. So from different water jets, it's the innovation. It's some of the things I've already been talking about. So it's a smarter, it's the most intelligent water jet on the market, right? So I've taken the subjectivity out of it. The subjectivity is the operator saying, well, it's hot. How hot? If they put their hand on it, they touch it, meaning the pump, right? So I'm touching it and I'm saying it's hot, hotter than yesterday. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. It's that subjectivity and kicking the can down the road that then leads to higher dollar maintenance, but also longer downtime because it takes longer to fix it at that point. So that innovation is key in separating us from the other competitors, if you will, or the other water jet manufacturers. The other thing with that is that servo pump technology, the efficiency of a servo pump technology and the intelligence of it. There's just nothing that matches it. So the hydraulic intensifier, and there's another design that's called triplex technology. Those are fairly rudimentary in the industry at this point, but they're certainly not intelligent. And the intelligence of the servo pump, that's the advantage that we give our customer. And then again, you can catch things before it becomes catastrophic. When you look at us compared to laser, plasma, punch press, some of these other metal processing um, processes, I should just say, they are heat. Most of them are heat cutting, or they distort the metal by some way. So laser, plasma, those impart heat into the parent metal, right? So then you get like a crystallization, a work hardening that needs to be addressed down the road. So there's secondary processing that goes to those. And then you look at a punch press and it rolls the edge and it distorts the metal. When you look at the water jet versatility of it, it can cut anything from titanium to composite to uh, plastic. I mean, glass, metal, or uh, stone products, things like that. Sorry about that. I get talking too fast. But it can cut all of those effectively and efficiently, which gives you an advantage. And then the other part of that is going back to the crystallization. It's a cold cutting process, so there's no heat imposed into the piece, right? So now you've got parent metal that is actually as good as the original edge was, and it can go right to weld, assembly, whatever the case is. There's no secondary processing that needs to take place.
So you've done your job. You've convinced them to
Yep.
buy. Um, so after the purchase, what kind of service or maintenance programs do you have? Support programs, and what do they look like?
So our main objective is to make the operator and the company independent of us. We don't want to make you um, obligated to be to be dependent on us. However, so how do we do that? So we do that through very extensive training after the install. So we do a very thorough training on maintenance, servicing of the equipment, the software of the equipment. But then there's different levels, right? Some people say, I'm not this person. I don't want to be the maintenance person. So then we have various levels of maintenance contracts. So we will do the service for you. We will come in, we will check in with you. And then there's also where we just take 100%, where we can monitor it and do 100% of call you up, tell you that your right hand check valve's getting hot, you need to perform maintenance. So there's various levels. The key is to have um, them be knowledgeable enough to do it themselves, but not if they don't want to. They certainly have a partner in us. So one of the key things I always say is we want to be the same person or persons we were before the sale. We want to be the same person after the sale as well. And so, promise less, deliver more kind of thing. But we're in this with our customers. Our true measure of success of the service and customer service department is do they buy a second machine? Is it so? This is not a The idea here is for them to become so productive on a reliable, profitable piece of equipment that they need to come back for more. So it's a relationship we enter into, and I think that's true of any machine tool. Some relationships are not as good as others. I'm sure with other machine tools, but in the water jet, in our space, and with our clients, we definitely we partner with them to make sure they're being productive.
Well, I guess that purchasing another machine leads into this next question. Uh, what are the outcomes you're looking for to make you say, "Hey, we did a good job with this customer"?
The reality of it is the outcome is that they're calling because they're happy, they're satisfied, or sometimes the outcome is they're not calling because they're being productive and they're actually making money. But the ultimate outcome and measure of whether we're doing our job is the purchase of that second machine, or a good testimonial or something about what it did for their business. So we like to check in with them after the fact too and say, okay, what's different now than before? What I find consistent throughout my career is people kind of hem and haw, and I think, well, I think I need a water jet, but I'm not sure, and I'm only going to run it 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week, is the initial comment. Then you come back in about a quarter, say 3 months, and now they're saying, I don't know how we did it without it. Right? It's easy to integrate into almost any shop flow rate. I mean, through the system, and it just becomes something they're very dependent on. So going back to that service part of it and the reliability part of it, it's imperative that we're accessible and that they stay up and running.
Sounds like you've done your job
Yeah,
then.
yeah, right.
More on the personal side, and I've got a good idea what your answers are going to be here. But what what kind of personal values do you bring to your work at Techni?
The ultimate, I guess, being honest in honesty and integrity. That's key and foremost for me. So what I found, and this is one of the only benefits as we age is you find that what doesn't work, right? It's not like we're geniuses when we're young, but we find what we touch on us hot stoves to learn what doesn't work. So
Life's a learner,
yeah, yeah. So
a teacher.
you don't have to. One of the things I like to say, you don't have to remember the truth, and there's no, you'll never have an issue with the truth. You will always get, the lie will always come out. So you cannot be dishonest. You cannot mislead people. So be forthright. It's so take a no once in a while. Don't be the a yes person all the time. Be an honest person. That's one of the most significant things that gives me calm, and it allows me to kind of deal with chaotic situations in a calm way. So I think that's kind of one of the ones I would say is pretty important to me.
What do you think is the most or the best piece of advice you've ever received, whether it's personal or business?
Well, I kind of was hitting on it there for sure.
Yeah.
One thing, another thing that gives me, again, it gives me great calm, is the fact that triangulation of events, right? So there's 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 one side of the story, the customer's experience. There's our experience from perception or information that we get, and there's the reality. So, and the reality sometimes lies in between. But customers are going to be emotional. If my money maker is down, I'm going to be upset. So don't engage in that for yourself, right? Be the solution. Be the, when you, I'll use this analogy. If you show up to a car crash, you don't want to be saying, "Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that." The EMTs show up and say, "You're fine. You're going to be okay. And let's get you to the hospital, whatever the case is." So you want to triangulate in a level of understanding of the facts and not the emotion, because we can all panic all the time if we wanted to go through life like that, but you don't want to, and you have a better, you're received better if you're the calm in the storm, and the storm is real, don't get me wrong. There's a place for emotion when something's not working, or whatever the case is. So I think every aspects of our life, if we triangulate the information from all the points of view, but to kind of work out the truth is significant in living a more joyful life.
If any of our viewers are interested in what you're selling,
Right, right.
it is what's the best way for them to get some more information about Techni?
So they can certainly go to the main website, techniwaterjet.com. Or anybody is more than welcome to, I cover the Americas. So I'm on this side of the water, and there's an Australian headquarters. There's European offices. Those can all be found on the website. So go there for your needs. Contact me direct for anything, Jim Fields at techniwaterjet.com, or call me direct, 913-827-7047. We're always welcome to answer your questions and help out in any way we can, and certainly to talk about the product and show you how to make some more money using water and sand.
Well, Jim, we really appreciate you being with us today. Um, Maybe we can touch base in the future, see what kind of new cool stuff you're coming out with.
Well, I certainly appreciate you taking the time to have us. So thank you for your time as well.
Yes, sir. And have a good
All
one.
right, thank you.